Welcome back to Blizzard Abroad. Today I want to talk about a subject that's very, very important. In today's society, how do we avoid leaving our sons to the wolves? Right? It's easy to get caught up in the negativity on social media, right? And I'm talking about the Manosphere. Passport Bros, MGTOW, SYSBM, men going their own way, right? These groups are framed around men's rights, helping men, right? Being there for men, forming communities to uplift men in today's society. But far too often, they paint just such a bleak image of what today's society is, right? Especially when it comes to relationships and men's issues in the West, in America. And I just want to come up here today and say loudly that America, the West, is not a complete wasteland, right? And I think it's important that we let the next generation know that there is hope for them, right? See, I get it. On social media, like there's a ton of people speaking, there's a ton of information and knowledge out there for people to seek out, and people are sharing their experiences, and people are trying to help each other. But it's important that we remember that we need to stay true to ourselves. We need to stay independent minded, and we need to live life through our own experiences, right? And I want to say something to all the men out there, to all the men, and especially the younger men. The West has its challenges. We all know them. I speak about them. I've made videos talking about all my gripes, right? Everything I believe is wrong in the West. I have. But I refuse to paint the picture that the West in America is just all doom and gloom, because it's not. It's absolutely not. If we be honest and we tell the whole truth, right? There is plenty of potential here. There are so many opportunities here in the West, right, for the next generation, right? And we have to remember also that while we can learn from others' experiences, we cannot let other people's pain define our perspective. And we cannot let other people's experiences dictate the way that we live our lives. And I want to speak to those other people that speak to men and for men. I'm gonna ask that you know just be careful with the message that you send, right? Because your experiences, no matter how bad they are, they're valid, but they're your experiences. And I think it's important that we all take accountability for our own experiences and the role that we played in them, right? And be careful not to burn your house down just because you seek to move on, right? Because if you truly care about men, if you truly care about the youth and the next generation, you do not tell them that there is no hope for them, right? If you care about men and the next generation of men, you know that the last thing you want to do to a desperate man, to a lost man, is to convince him that there is no hope. What we should be doing is trying to inspire them, trying to guide them, trying to help them navigate through the tough times that they're facing, because we've all been there. And if you're able to stand up here today and talk about your experiences, right, it means that you've been through it and you survived, and they can too. So I'm not coming up here saying that it's all peaches and cream, it's all glitter and gold, but it's not all doom and gloom. So we need to be realistic. That's one. We need to be real, but also be optimistic, right? I'd rather help somebody find their way out of the dark than to tell them that there is no hope and leave them in despair, right? And I also just want to say to anybody listening out there, right? We have to not get stuck into these negative echo chambers, right? Do not get stuck in these spaces that only speak negatively of women, especially, blaming all their problems on women, all the flaws on women, right? Because this mindset drags you down. It keeps you from seeing the good in people. When we blame all our problems, all our flaws on other people, women or not, like, it keeps you from seeing the good that does exist in people. And it limits ourselves. Because, like, no matter what, if we're honest, if we're really honest, we know that there are so many good people that's still here in the West, that's still here in America, right? But we got to get rid of that victim mindset. And I don't even like using that phrase, but it fits and it's accurate. It's a victim mindset, and it's being portrayed by more and more men. But that victim mindset only serves to create a worse victim. And the worst victim of all is a victim that has not even been harmed yet, right? And that's what we're creating. We're creating a whole group of men that are retreating from society before they even experience life, right? There's men that have never been married, don't want to be married, but they're complaining about marriage laws. There's men without kids who don't want kids complaining about child support and custody laws, right? They already have a blame set up, and it's inflicted on them by us, by the people who went before them, right? We're depriving them of the experiences that we have that got us to where we are in life, good or bad. Because it's disingenuous to come up here and act like, you know, there was no good times, that we didn't learn lessons from our past experiences, like I said, good or bad. And it's that blaming others that stops us from taking accountability. It locks us into a victim mindset. It's a fear of looking in the mirror and seeing ourselves for who we really are and acknowledging the mistakes that we made. Like, but how can you grow? How can you truly grow? How can you learn without accepting your flaws? Right? Like, I haven't had an easy life. Right? I've been married, divorced. I've had a child, a baby mama, whatever you want to call it. I don't call it that in real life, but, you know, paid child support, went through custody, went through child support court, you know, fought for custody, won custody. I've been through so much in my life, man. So much pain, misery, yes, but also good times, also joy. There was joy there, man. Like, becoming a father was probably the biggest moment of my life, regardless of how it happened, regardless of what I went through after that, regardless of having to pay child support. I wouldn't change it for the world. I would not change it for the world, right? So I don't, and I wouldn't deprive my son or the kids that I mentor. I wouldn't want to deprive them of that opportunity because of the fear that I'm impressing on them because of my bad experiences, right? We have to be mindful that the next generation needs us, right? And the next generation of men, they crave the knowledge that we have. They crave the wisdom that we have, that we can share with them, right? So we need to stop dismissing them. These are our sons, our grandsons, our nephews, our mentee. I've been a volunteer coach and mentor for 16 years. So this is why it hits home with me, right? We need to start having real conversations with the next generation. We need to, and when I say conversation, I mean a conversation is talking and listening. That's a conversation. And we need to tell them the entire story, because we all know that in reality, we are who we are because of the good and the bad experiences that we've been through, right? But there are a lot of bitter people in this world, right? Bitter men and women who have given up on society and they have the ears of our youth, and they're only giving them the horror stories. So I just want us to realize that, you know, the next generation of men, they need us. They need to be guided and led by real men who are going to give them the 360, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? But who will also give them the knowledge and tools to actually navigate the society, the world we live in today, not just retreat and hide from it. Because that's the only way that they can become, you know, men, well rounded, full fledged men. They need the realness, but they need both sides. They need the good and the bad, right? Not just to, you know, retreat from society and then somehow emerge after you've accomplished, you know, you saved so much money. What do you emerge into? A world that you don't even know how to interact with. So, and that's just some of the advice I hear being given. Don't date. Don't date until you're 35 and you got $300,000 in the bank. Don't date. All right, how's that gonna work out when this person has locked itself away and has no social skills? Like, we learned our social skills because we interacted with people. So the advice just doesn't add up with today's real world experiences that our young men are facing. The times have changed, but the way to communicate has not changed. So please, if you're given experiences, please just give both sides. The young men of today, they're not a lost cause. Not all of them, right? Some very bright, very promising young men out here, and they just want to have real conversations with us, right? So thank you for watching today, man. And remember, just be yourself, be your authentic self, live life through your own experiences. And young men, I just want to say to you guys, if you're listening, do not give up. Keep pushing. There are people out here that are giving good advice, right? And we care about you, and we want you to be better men than we are. We want you to surpass what we have. We want you to learn from our mistakes, yes, but live your own life and create your own experiences. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, Blizzard Abroad.